There's never a dull moment when we're talking about the Pakistan cricket team or the Pakistan Cricket Board. Dave Watmore and I were about to record a preview for Pakistan versus Bangladesh. That game coming to us from Kolkata. But news from Pakistan is that Inzamam-ul-haq, the legendary former captain, he stepped down as chairman of selectors of Pakistan cricket. We're being told there's some conflict of interest allegations sort of doing the rounds as well. Anas Malik, WION's Pakistan bureau chief, is joining us. He's been tracking this story very closely. Anas, if you can hear me, just give us a sense of what's happened, okay? Where did these allegations come from? What were the allegations? Or is it simply the PCB trying to wash its hands of the debacle that's going on at this World Cup in India?
Well, thank you so much, Digvijay, for having me from Islamabad. It's a mix of what you just asked. It's a little bit of this, that, and everything. The PCB has just issued a statement literally 10 seconds before we went on air, and I quote the PCB statement: Inzamam-ul-haq has resigned as the chairman of the National Men's Selection Committee and Junior Selection Committee. He was appointed as the chairman of the National Men's Committee on 7th August 2023 and was also appointed chairman of the Junior Men's Selection Committee earlier this month. Inzamam said, and I quote, "I am stepping down from the post to offer the PCB the opportunity to conduct a transparent inquiry about the conflict of interest allegations raised in the media. If the committee finds me guilty, I will resume. If the committee finds me not guilty, I will resume my role as the chief selector." Unquote. The PCB appreciates and acknowledges Inzamam's decision to voluntarily step down during this investigation. Now, the saga starts.
Can you make sense of that? Hang on. Can you make sense of that? You're just going around in circles. Doesn't it make sense, does it, Dave?
So what I'm hearing is that the media make allegations and people start to believe it and they sway their thoughts. So Inzamam sadly gives it away. He did the right thing, just on what I'm hearing from Anas. He's done the right thing. He's willing to come back and serve Pakistan cricket.
Okay, but Anas also, because I was chatting with Anas when he sent in this sort of breaking news. Anas, you also have Inzamam's statement, which has been shared with you. Could you sort of translate that into English and share with us? We are live on YouTube. We're live on Facebook. If you have any questions on this breaking story from Dave Watmore or Anas Malik, write to us using the hashtag AskDav or the hashtag WIONCricket. Our social media team is monitoring this in real time, and we will get all your questions answered by a former coach of Pakistan and by somebody who knows Pakistan cricket all too well. That's my colleague Anas Malik. Yes, Anas.
Okay, so Inzamam's statement is in Urdu and I'll translate it, so bear me with that. It says that people have been making allegations and raising questions on me without investigating, so I found it better resigning. This is what he said in his first quote. Then the second translation is that if there are questions on me, then it is better for me to be on the side. Then the third quote is that whenever the Pakistan Cricket Board does an inquiry, I will be available for the inquiry. And the fourth quote in Urdu is that without a shred of evidence, there are talks that are being done. If there is any evidence that should be brought forward against me, I have decided to step down to be part of the investigation in a fairer manner. This is what Inzamam has said in Urdu to the Pakistan media, confirming his resignation.
Okay, let's break it down. Anas, hang on, let's break it down. So, because you are there, you know what's happening. I think we are here in India, and a lot of our viewers at the moment, all they had heard was the fact that the PCB had said that Babar Azam and Inzamam-ul-haq were given a free hand in selecting this team. That's all we had last heard from the PCB. Now, where do these allegations of conflict of interest come in? Can you explain that to us and to all our viewers at the moment? What has led to this dramatic announcement? And everyone wants to know if it's Inzamam now, what happens to Babar Azam as well. So just explain to us, what is this conflict of interest? Where did these allegations come from? And is there any sort of anything else that needs to be known that we're not aware of at the moment, Anas?
Okay, so I'll take you slightly back to Friday, in fact Saturday, when Pakistan lost that match. A Twitter account posted some information which alleged that a prominent athletes management committee that is registered with the PCB, Inzamam, who's also the chief selector, is also on the board of directors of that very company. It's not just limited to Inzamam. It is also going on to name Mohammad Rizwan, the wicketkeeper batsman who's currently in India and is also part of the Pakistan cricket team. Now, the athletes that are managed by this the athletes management firm, they include Babar Azam, the Nepalese leg spinners Sandeep Lamachaya, Shaheen Shah Afridi, Mohammad Rizwan. Then you've got the MMA fighter Ahmed Mulvarid Mushtaba, Mark Watt, Michael Rippon, Fakhar Zaman, Haider Ali, and Inzamam-ul-haq. And then there's a long list. It's a professional firm. Now, the issue that started, as I said, it started from a Twitter account after it posted this information of these individuals, was that, is this not conflict of interest when a person who belongs to the same company or agency would be picking the team, and they would not want to have more people from their own agency to be part of the team because there would be more profits to the same agency? It makes sense. Prima facie, the allegation does hold a ground. And what I've learned from sources in the PCB is that Inzamam-ul-haq today was called for a meeting with the chairperson of the Pakistan Cricket Board's management committee, Zaka Ashraf. He was asked to clarify his position. He failed to do so. So while it might sound it's a voluntary resignation, what we know is that it wasn't as pleasant as it's being made to sound.
Okay.
That's what we know for a fact.
Okay.
So while Inzamam has stepped down, there is a problem that exists. Digvijay.
Okay. Let's try and process the information, Dav. Inzamam-ul-haq is no MBA. He's a former captain of Pakistan, one of the most dynamic cricketers to come out of that country. He's a legend. He's been chairman of selectors before. Correct me if I'm wrong, this is probably his second or third stint on us. He's done this role before. Weren't the PCB aware, Dav, of his relationship with this company all of a sudden? All of a sudden, why are we talking about this after Pakistan have lost 4 straight?
Well, it only happens when you lose. But can I also ask, Inzamam-ul-haq, is he like a director of that company that signs up players for, you know, he's a director, Anas, is he? Inzamam-ul-haq.
Yes, he is a director along with Mohammad Rizwan. There are 3 named directors.
And Mohammed,
but what is Rizwan doing over there? So why did the PCB... Hang on. So it's okay if Inzamam is there, but what is Rizwan doing there? I mean, if he's a director as well, he's a senior player in the team, so he clearly also has a conflict of interest, doesn't he? And the talk is he's going to be the next captain.
I think that's wrong. Anas?
Absolutely is.
Anas, I feel...
I'd let Dav take one.
Okay, Anas, I feel that all those names you came out with, most of those are players. So they would be in the stable, or they would be, signed up by that company, of which Inzamam-ul-haq is a director. I don't know whether all these players would necessarily, be on the payroll of that company. So
no, and that's how it works, right? I mean, just for me to come in from an Indian perspective, we've had this controversy in India before, but it's largely they get them deals and they get them advertisements, endorsements, speaking fees, public engagements, something like having you here. We obviously, if we go through an agent, then we sort of have to pay him his 10 to 15% commission. That's usually how it works, right? On a commission basis, right, Anas? Am I right? That's how it works in India. Is that how it works there in Pakistan as well?
Absolutely. It does work that way, yes.
Okay, yes, Dav.
Yeah, so the second part of that comment, Diggy, is it only happens when you're not winning. If they're winning, none of this would have come out, or would even see the light of day. But the PCB, from what I feel, they're just not happy unless there's some controversy or not.
The way I look at it, and you can disagree with me, Anas can disagree with me, our viewers can disagree with me, but I think they've just thrown Inzamam-ul-haq under the bus. Already, as Anas has been telling us, the knives are out for Babar Azam as well. And they've thrown Inzamam. And hang on, Zaka Ashraf has just become the PCB chairman, and his first job was to appoint Inzamam 10-15 days ahead of the World Cup, right? Just a month ahead of the World Cup is when Inzamam was named chief selector, Anas?
August 23rd.
Yeah, so a month before the team was announced.
That's right, yeah. So that's very sad that this has happened, and it appears as though, hey, not our fault. We've given the green light for the leadership, the chairman of the selectors and the captain, to get what they need, and that's fair enough too. The captain has to lead them on the field, so he has a big say on who he should have in the squad, and the chairman of the selectors plays a pivotal role in that as well. But when things don't go wrong, that's when you need everyone to support and get behind it, not start pointing fingers.
No, I'll tell you what my problem is with this story. Is that didn't the PCB know? And Inzamam is not a current player, right? He retired, 2007, 6, 7, 8? 2007, 8 is when Inzamam retired, correct? It was against England, I think, the last series. Yep. 2007, 8 is when Inzamam retired. So he's got a right to earn his bread and butter. So he's part of this company. And obviously the PCB knew. He's not going to hide it. If Anas is aware of this fact that he's a director in this company, you think the PCB weren't aware when they hired him?
And why do they hire him if there's a problem?
Okay. Question to you. Didn't the PCB know he was the director of this company? Shouldn't he have declared? In Indian cricket, you have this conflict of interest situation. You have to declare your conflict, and then an independent ombudsman, if it's the right word, will decide if you're a conflict of interest or not. Anas?
Well, at this point of time, it is unclear if the PCB was aware, because as I said, this controversy started 72 hours ago from a Twitter account, and that indeed proved to be true. The information that was posted on that Twitter account with regards to this particular company, the athletes management company, it turned out to be true. So it's still unclear whether Inzamam, at the time of being hired by the PCB on the 7th of August this year, did actually go on to declare his conflict of interest, or were the PCB aware or not? Because prima facie, there's just one person who has been dealing with the Pakistan Cricket Board. He's a prominent figure. I don't want to name him, but the other two directors, as I said, which includes a current cricketer who is already playing in India, their information was made public just 72 hours back. So there's a lot of controversy around there as well with regards to the timing, as to is there an agenda behind it, is there something, hidden hands, and so on and so forth. So it's still unclear whether Inzamam had declared at the time of being hired or not. Digvijay?
Okay, I'm just picking up the threads, okay? Yeah. Now, I've been watching a lot of Pakistan TV, and I keep telling you this. There's a lovely show which is Wasim Akram, Shoaib Malik, Moin Khan, and Misbah-ul-Haq, all former Pakistan captains. And I think it wasn't the game against South Africa, it was the previous one. What's the one they lost after Australia? They lost Australia, the Afghanistan game. It's after the Afghanistan game that the talk was about how there was this very powerful agent who controlled a lot of these big players. And to be fair, Anas, we've had that in India as well. There was a time when there was a certain company from the east part of India, especially when Ganguly was captain, that was strong. There were allegations when Mahendra Singh Dhoni was part of a company, and there were some allegations. Obviously, those allegations...
Same in Sri Lanka as well.
Same in Sri Lanka as well. It usually happens, right? If there's a captain and those with that agency, that gets powerful. Even with, I think, the agency which has Virat Kohli, or the agency which has Rohit Sharma, obviously you're sitting on a gold mine, right? Those are the most marketable players out here in India. So it's not illegal. It's a business, and they're recognized with everyone. Anas, now that I'm picking up the pieces, is there an attempt to sort of say that Inzamam and Babar, because they're all part of the same agency, it's not the World Cup team, I think. It's that central contracts. It's those contracts you brought up a couple of days ago when you were, Dav and you and me were talking. You brought up this negotiations going up on these central contracts. Is it got more to do with that than this World Cup team?
I think yes, it is to do with the contract bit as well. You know, very interestingly, Rashid Latif, a former Pakistan cricket team captain, wicketkeeper batsman, he had raised this point. There were 2 points to quote Rashid Latif as well. The players haven't been paid for 5 months now, not 1, not 2, but 5 months now. That is number one. And number two is that Babar Azam had allegedly tried to reach out to the chairperson of the Pakistan Cricket Board, Zaka Ashraf, and Zaka Ashraf had not responded to his calls or messages. Now that was a severe allegation that was made. What happened, what followed after that was very interesting, and allow me to complete because it's a very interesting story. The PCB, what PCB does, or what the PCB chairman does is, he rings up a journalist considerably close to the chairman, known to be close to the chairman, offers him an interview. The guy flies down from Karachi to Lahore, conducts an interview. During the interview, this particular piece of information is asked. He verifies that, since the players had not signed the central contract, therefore their dues have not been released. That is number one. And number two, that Babar Azam, this talk of Babar Azam reaching out to him is false. And then he provides a screenshot of the conversation of the CEO of Pakistan Cricket Board, Salman Nasir, with Babar Azam, where the CEO is seen asking Babar Azam on WhatsApp, did you try to reach out to the chairman, which Babar Azam explicitly says no to. What happens then? The same TV channel to which the anchor is, who had flown all the way to Lahore to interview the PCB chairman, airs that private conversation onto the screens just last night. I mean, it's a mockery of the players that's ongoing. It's a breach of privacy. It's a breach of ethics, code of conduct, and whatnot. The main anchor had to come and clarify, but the damage has already been done. There are 3 matches that are remaining. You know what, Digvijay? Just yesterday, is when the PCB had sent the finalized central contracts to the players while they're still in India. They're still playing the World Cup. How do you expect the players to give their 100% when they haven't even been paid for 5 months?
Okay, Anas takes me back to a serial I used to watch as a kid, and even of late, Yes Minister, Yes Prime Minister, in which the Right Honourable Jim Hacker said, the ship of state is the only one that leaks at the top. But Dav Watmore has coached Pakistan, and he's been telling me all through the last month that he's been here that the problem in the PCB is you go to a review meeting, the players don't leak, the PCB leaks. This is what he's telling us, the information Anas is sharing with us. And if you've asked Inzamam to go, the chairman of the PCB is allegedly leaking the privileged information himself.
Yeah, well, that's a shame. And Anas also, from what I might know, I can't 100% say, but everybody's got a contact in the media. So they gravitate to that person and they just give the right information from time to time. And in return, that person doesn't write badly about that player. So each of these individuals within the squad will have each of their own contacts in the media. So, this flow of information just never stops. As much as, I know as a coach, we plead with them, whatever said in this meeting here must remain within the 4 walls of this room. It goes out because of that very reason. You need to stay chummy with whoever is your mate in case they will not write badly about you. So everyone has a mate there and it's a horrible situation.
But everyone's writing badly about Babar Azam right now. So the question is now, obviously Anas and us, we've had these discussions over the last 2 weeks with Pakistan sort of falling off the pace. And the funny thing is, Anas, you've just mentioned the names. So you're saying is Babar Azam as well in that agency?
Yes.
So Babar,
Rizwan,
yes, Shaheen Shah Afridi.
Babar Azam is there.
So And Babar is in that agency, but
Yes.
Rizwan's the director.
No,
Wow.
he's not. Is he a director?
That's what he said.
Yes, Rizwan is the director. Inzamam is the director. This main person who's been representing the company is the director. And the irony is, one of other Inzamam's brothers, that is, who is not the father of Imam-ul-haq, that's another brother. He is the secretary of the same company. His name is Intisar-ul-haq. And the players that they have, I'll just name a few: Babar Azam, Sandeep Lamachana, Shaheen Shah Afridi, Mohammad Rizwan, Ahmad Wolverine Mushtaba, Mark Watt, Michael Rippon, Fakhar Zaman, Haider Ali, Inzamam-ul-haq, among others.
So basically, it's their own company.
They all sign up for the company.
Yeah, they all sign up for the
Well,
company.
that's clearly not right. Clearly, I mean, you know, and really, there is a huge conflict of interest.
But what we need to know, Anas, what we need to know is, was this conflict of interest declared?
You're right.
Because they obviously went back. You see, Zaka Ashraf came in, I think, after Shehbaz Sharif gave up and the new Prime Minister, who's your acting Prime Minister, came in, right? That's when Zaka Ashraf has come in. Shehbaz Sharif came in.
Just before that. Before that.
So Shehbaz Sharif came in and he got rid of Ramiz Raja, and that saw Nazam Sethi come in. It's like a merry-go-round, a revolving door in Pakistan cricket. So obviously Zaka Ashraf wanted...
So I'll just give you another
Okay.
piece of information, Digvijay. Sorry to interrupt there.
No, please go. I love these
current
tidbits
management
which you keep
committee,
sharing.
their
Lovely tidbits. Come on, keep going.
So the current management committee that is being headed by Zaka Ashraf, their term or tenure ends on the 5th of November, in a week from now. In less than a week from now, actually. In 6 days from now. But the talk in Islamabad is that they will be given another term, another 4 months or 3 months, and wait until the elections are held, until Pakistan has an elected government in power. So only then can a full-time or a permanent chairperson of the Pakistan Cricket Board be elected and then be placed into the power corridors. Digvijay?
Okay. So this will continue, and that's the problem, isn't it? We spoke about this, I think, after the Afghanistan defeat and what ails Pakistan cricket. I think Ijaz Butt, Ramiz Raja and the great Abdul Hafiz Kardar, the only 3 test cricketers to have sort of headed the PCB. And each time a new government comes in, a new Prime Minister comes in, you have a new chairman of the PCB, not too much knowledge about cricket, but everyone wants to head the cricket board in Pakistan. They don't want to head squash, they don't want to head tennis, they don't want to head swimming, they don't want to head boxing. Right? Anas, I'm right. They want to head the Pakistan Cricket Board. Everyone wants to have his sort of stamp or her sort of stamp on the cricket board. The problem is the team is in terminal decline, Pakistan cricket is in decline, and the comparison is with India, right? The comparison with India, which has a vibrant domestic structure. Pakistan's domestic cricket is all over the place. That's what they should be addressing.
Yeah.
Not sort of needling players, needling the media, blaming Anas and his friends in the media for trying to stoke tensions. All through the World Cup, the last 7-8 days, they released 2 statements backing Babar Azam. Then they said, oh, Babar, the media shouldn't criticize, ex-players shouldn't criticize. Babar and Inzamam were given a free hand.
Well, I just want to... The only comment I'll make is that from what I see, cricket is really the last consideration that all these people have, because, you know, it's very important for them to be in power, to be in charge. And sadly, there's no continuity. When you haven't got continuity, then it's very difficult for any of this stuff to be put in place and followed through. So there's always, when a new chairman comes, we'll change this. I think the Centre of Excellence was now something else, or, you know, the name change. And the person in charge, he's out. It's just like cricket is like a pawn on a chessboard. Simple as that. You know, it's the last area that they really want to see thrive.
Anas, you heard what Dav was saying.
I agree.
I'm going to be complete. When this World Cup is going on in India, you're seeing, okay, fans may not be there that much in certain games, but we're seeing fantastic stadiums. We're seeing fantastic stadiums. We're seeing the depth and strength of this Indian cricket team, which comes from that vibrant domestic structure. Surya Kumar Yadav isn't just a player who comes and hits 360 degrees all over the park. Surya Kumar Yadav has been, 80 first-class games playing for Mumbai, which is one of the strongest teams in Indian cricket. Mohammad Shami sits out for so long, comes and takes 9 wickets, part of a vibrant structure. Indian cricket has unearthed talent from Kashmir. Umran Malik has sort of played for India. Indian cricket also has had players from my state, Odisha, Devashish Mohanty, if you remember. Right?
Yes.
Yes. So, isn't that visible to the Pakistan Cricket Board and the people who are actually got the power in Pakistan, the politicians, the army, that to take Pakistan cricket up, you all need to come together and you all need to sort of sort out the grassroots. Why is that such a big problem, Anas?
Digvijay, the problem remains that, PCB is a gold mine, and as Dav was pointing out, everyone whosoever comes into power would want their own person. I'll give you another anecdote. The talks are that if the PMLN come back into power, we might be seeing a new face from the PMLN who might not be Nadam Sethi as the new chairperson of the PCB, that is if Nawaz Sharif or Shehbaz Sharif come back into power. Now, what Dav was pointing out, yes, the High Performance Center has been renamed as a National Coaching Center, which is director-less for the past 2 years. The last director to head the High Performance Center and then eventually the NCC, the National Coaching Center, was Mudassir Nazar, the international cricketer. And since then, he had stepped down about 2 years ago. And since then, you haven't seen a director being appointed for that. So the other problem also remains is with regards to the fitness. I'll take you back in time. There was a time when the PCB had sort of teamed up with the military, and then if you remember, before the England series, I think 2017, if I remember that correctly, there was a cricket camp of the Pakistan players, 10-day cricket camp in the military academy in Abbottabad. And after that, if you remember that knock by Misbah at the Lords in 2017, where he ended up making a ton. So he had those 10 push-ups and then he made that salute, if you remember, that viral video from Misbah's time. And when Misbah was actually asked, he said that was basically a salute to the military trainers to let them know that I'm still fit. He did those 10 push-ups and then he made a salute after making a ton. So the problem at hand remains, one is the domestic infrastructure. Yes, the continuity of the domestic structure, number 2. Number 3, to taking out or picking those, fine or refined gentlemen and putting them and making them adjust with the team environment. Who have you got from the domestic structure in this team right now? I mean, barely you'd be able to point out, but you've got a very good, a genuine wristy opener in the form of Asaim Ayub, who's been playing first class cricket. But where is he in this squad? The answer is he's nowhere. You've got a genuine leggy, right arm leggy, who's Abrar Ahmed, who's been doing excellent in the first class structure. Where is he? He's part of the travelling reserves. You've got a good medium pace bowler who's been doing excellent in the first class structure, Shahnawaz Dahani. Where is he? He's back home in Ladkana. You've got, I can go on to name these people, and the people who are part of the team are those who have essentially maneuvered their way over the years to somehow not play the domestic infrastructure and, have this shortcut to the team, which has worked at times. But I think this 50 over World Cup has been serving as an eye-opener for the Pakistan Cricket Board that no team selection or you will not be part of the team if you don't play first class. Something that should have been done much earlier.
Let me just add to that before I get a question to you. When you talk about this Coaching Excellence Center, which is now, that's what it's called, right? And no director for 2 years. Who's the current coach of the Indian cricket team? Rahul Dravid. What was his job before that? Dravid. He headed the NCA in Bengaluru. You know who else headed the NCA in Bengaluru? Dav Watmore. You were there, right?
Yeah.
How many years?
2 2 and a bit.
You headed that for 2 years, and then sort of you went to India A.
Right. Yeah, well, I did India A.
And you did that under-19 World Cup win as well.
Yep.
So that's the structure. And right now, you're all but certain that when Rahul Dravid decides to go, the next Indian coach is going to be the great VVS Lakshman. You know why? Because Lakshman's heading the NCA right now. Lakshman is the one who sent for India tours, but the main team is not playing. He goes to the Asian Games.
And
there's a structure. That NCA is so important for Indian cricket that Bumrah has been rehabbing over there. Hardik Pandya is there in the middle of the World Cup right now. It's a proper structure, and that's what Indian cricket has, which perhaps the Pakistan Cricket Board needs to understand. That you can saber rattle, you can say this is bad, that is bad, but when it comes to the cricket, the actual cricket, just forget the money for a bit. The Indian establishment, despite all the controversies, has a bloody good cricketing structure.
Yeah, that centre of excellence should be the vehicle to service a lot of areas. You know, you catch people when they are coming down, and you bring them up when, from a lower area. You also rehab them, the medical side of things, the biomechanical, technical. That should provide the best infrastructure for all your players domestically and national players as well.
Okay, big question to you, Dav. We've heard what Anas has to say. The timing. A lot of our viewers have that question. Timing. Are you supposed to be doing all of this one day before a game? When you've already lost, 4 in a row? Could end up losing 5 in a row? Is this where Zaka Ashraf is trying to sort of preserve his patch? And he's thrown Inzamam under the bus? Couldn't the media, you know how media trials are, right? They've happened in Sri Lanka, where you stay. They happen in the first world, where you have stayed in the past. They happen in India, it happens in Pakistan. Couldn't they have just waited for the group stage? As he said, the term gets over on the 6th in 5 days' time. In 5 more days' time, Pakistan are flying home, as things stand. The last game is what, 10th? Pakistan's last game is 11th, right, against England. Both teams are probably waiting to fly home after that. Yeah. Couldn't they have waited 10 more days? We are, 30th today?
No, that's just the way it is over there, I think, Anas, isn't it? Everyone just loves that little bit of ability to wash your hands. Controversy seems to be part and parcel of the PCB for a long, long time. It makes for good reading, it makes for good listening, but the last thing you want is for the players to be handicapped with all this. Now, they got a game tomorrow. Yeah. How are they going to feel? You know, how is Babar Azam and Rizwan going to feel, you know?
And Shaheen Shah Afridi's there as well. Yeah. His name is in the reckoning for captain.
And they had a good game. The last game was really good.
They fought very hard. Yeah. Ayan has a question, do you think all these chaos, disturbances starting from the beginning of the World Cup and continuing till now would have put an impact on the performance of the team? It's the World Cup. We have failed to provide a peaceful environment to our players. This is clearly a Pakistan fan who's watching us live either on YouTube or on Facebook. This is what it is, right? You shut out the noise. That's what India are doing so well. I asked that question to you on our TV show, that the noise isn't just the surround sound. It's the 50,000, 120,000 fans screaming in that stadium.
Well, I got very little to add to Diggy. There was just, the timing is just horrible. And I feel for the players. I'm a player person. I come from that background. And you just want that the environment to be as healthy as you can possibly get it. But this doesn't help at all.
Anas, how quickly do you see Babar Azam getting sacked now?
Babar is not being sacked. That's the news.
Wow.
Come what may, Babar is not being sacked.
Whoa.
Yes. Babar will continue as the captain for the ODI team. There will be a review for T20. There are 2 contenders, Rizwan and Shaheen Shah. And the test captainship, as I said, Sarfaraz will continue. So you might be seeing 3 different captains on 3 different formats of the Pakistan team once the team comes back. But I'll just be a typical delusionally optimistic Pakistan cricket team fan, and I'll just give you sort of a punch on, because we've got a lot of serious talk. The last time Pakistan sacked their director or their chief selector mid of the tournament, when was that? And who was that?
Oh, wasn't Iqbal Kazim, was it? No.
92? 92?
I don't know. Tell us, we're in suspense.
2009, Abdul Qadir.
Oh, the late Qadir, and they went on and won the T20.
Mid of the tournament, Pakistan's... Exactly. So, delusionally optimistic Pakistan cricket fan.
And there's an Afridi who was captain.
They
There was an Afridi who played a big role over there. There's an Afridi there in your team even now. In fact, related, aren't they?
But they're not going to win this World Cup, that's for sure.
Next year.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as I said, delusionally optimistic. Numerically, Pakistan, mathematically, Pakistan still is not out of the tournament. Tomorrow is going to decide whether they get to stay or not, though the hopes are not much high. But Babar will be staying back. He has been reiterated the confidence of the chairperson of the management. But as I
hang
said,
on, are they going to make a
seeing
public
three
announcement on
different
this?
changes.
Because a lot of people saying Babar's getting sacked, Babar's getting sacked. Or do you think Inzamam-ul-haq has sort of carried the can now?
No, I think the axe has fallen on Inzamam, and that would be it. That would be it, and Babar will be continuing. How long? Unless if it's his morally he would not be feeling obligated to continue with the captaincy. That comes in inverted. Then that would be a different scenario. But for now, Babar continues. Sarfaraz Ahmed comes in as the test captain. You've got two important tours after this. I think Australia
coming
and
up
New
next,
Zealand.
yeah.
So Babar is definitely going to continue. Yeah. So Babar will continue as the captain for the Australia tour, at least until then, that's for sure.
Just listening to all of this, it's anyway a divided house, and then you've got three different captains. God save Pakistan cricket.
And Babar Azam looks like being a multi-formatted player also, so it's going to be a bit awkward.
He's going to play all three formats. Hang on, you take Babar out of this team, may not have got these big runs in this tournament, but he's still their best batter. When they go to Australia, and when they play your kind of pitches and the ball comes here, he's the one who's going to be fronting up and taking Hazelwood and Cummins and Stark and fronting up to them.
Cut and pull.
Maybe over third man as well.
That's good information. Thanks, Anas.
Thanks, Anas. But this looks like a recipe for disaster.
Well, that's what Pakistan's known for. And I navigated 2 years. I didn't get the sack.
Well, I'll just add to what Dav was saying on the medical side of it. When Shaheen Shah Afridi had that injury last year, he was flown to England. And eventually, there was a point where the board he wasn't really in contact with the board. So he had to undergo rehab. He had to put in his own funds. He had to stay at a friend's house. That is just shameful of a behavior from the Pakistan Cricket Board. What's happening with Naseem Shah, I've said it the other day as well. I was in the press. We literally saw him fall, and taking that fall on the 6th of September against the Bangladesh game, on the 5th of September against the Bangladesh game in Lahore. That would have been the point where Naseem should have been pulled back and sent in for scans, and because his rehab would have taken 6 weeks. That would have been ample amount of time for him to be fit for the World Cup, if not for the first game, at least for the game against India on the 14th.
Like we are seeing with Dushamanta Chamira, like we have seen with who else? Kane Williamson, Travis Head, who are planning 6 weeks. 6 weeks is right now. He would have been ready for the second half of the tournament.
So it's poor medical advice, really. Yeah. And poor support, too.
Poor support,
Absolutely. Agreed. Absolutely agreed.
Okay. Anas Malik, thank you for joining us. Hopefully, as Dav says, there will be a review. So we don't know what further muck is going to be raked up. As things stand, Inzamam-ul-haq has resigned, and there is a conflict of interest sort of allegation against him. And as Anas has told us, Inzamam has said that there is no proof, but when he was confronted with certain sort of allegations, Pakistan Bureau Chief telling us that what he's hearing is Inzamam didn't have many proper answers. The question we want to ask the Pakistan Cricket Board, didn't you know? Is this the first time he's there? Didn't you know if he was working with this company? What are your safeguards? What are your procedures? And is this basically you trying to sort of push the blame game somewhere else? Because as he said, again, he also said there was some random Twitter handle which sort of fanned the flames.
The last comment I make on this, Diggy, I've been part of these review meetings, and I'm really glad I'm not part of it this time.
It seems to be one of those revolving doors where you follow someone in, but he comes out first.
Well, they just load up. They just load all the bullets.
Okay.
And they fire.
Okay. Okay. Let's now sort of get serious. There's some serious cricket as well. So Pakistan are playing a game. Pakistan are playing a game on Tuesday. It's against Bangladesh. Two teams who are officially not out, but we sort of know that they're gone. Dav Watmore has the unique privilege of having coached both teams. Are you surprised, Dav, with how badly Bangladesh have played? There's a lot of stick Pakistan have got.
Actually,
but
no.
Bangladesh?
No, because they had a few of their own issues coming into this World Cup.
Shakib versus Tamim and all of that.
Yeah, and the chairman seems to be, he loves getting involved in all this as well. And that's his style of leadership. That's the way it is over there at the moment. So, it can't be healthy, I don't think. All the players in the squad will pledge, yes, we're all behind you. We're all, pulling in one direction to win every match. But people are human as well. They'll have thoughts, they'll have certain doubts. And sometimes you have a good mate that you trust, you have a chat, and any little thing, especially when you lose. Mahmudullah's the other one. He was brought into the team when he should have been playing some time ago. He's a damn good player. And still
got 100 the other day.
And still batting at number 7. Anyway,
Or 8.
7 or 8, yeah, which is very sad. But, it doesn't really surprise me, and I feel sorry for them too.
Okay, but when you look at this squad, it's a fairly decent squad. And I'm surprised the squad can't even beat the Netherlands.
Well,
that's a shame.
Right. Yeah.
We didn't expect them to win, but we thought there'd be 7, 8. That's where they are.
Yeah.
But now you also have this the drama of this Champions Trophy, and Shakib Al Hasan knows about it. He's been saying, "Oh, listen, we knew about it. That's what our target is."
Well, that's right, which is also sad in a way. But yeah, there's some good players there, and there's a few there that's not going to be able to play again in another World Cup. So they're going to waste this last one in 2023, and they'll have sort of sad memories. Which is really sad.
But is this a good time for them to play Pakistan? Pakistan, as we know, have issues themselves. They've lost 4 on the bounce for the first time. This is your predicted Pakistan 11. And they've also, Dav, now had the situation where Inzamam-ul-haq has been removed. And guess what? Who are the players whose names are doing the rounds? Mohammad Rizwan, Shaheen Shah Afridi, captaincy contenders, Babar Azam, the captain. No, Sarfraz not in this team, so...
Not in this team, but yeah. It's so sad.
Would you be surprised if they lose tomorrow? You won't be.
I think maybe they've got the resilience to just, ride it, just rise above it, and just. I think if they don't, they're going to be in big trouble. They're expected to win tomorrow,
but that's the Pakistan you can't trust when you're expected to win.
But as a team, they have to pull together, and I feel.
And they came very close to winning against South Africa.
That's right. Their last game was really good. We
should have won that.
We saw the fight, finally, and with these guys fighting, I think it could be another good night for them. So, I'm tipping them. I'm tipping them to win tomorrow. Yep.
Okay.
Any changes?
Yeah, you've gone for...
Well, I'm not sure about Shadab Khan about this concussion.
Yes.
I know that in other codes, sporting codes, it's a compulsory...
2 weeks, no? 10 days at least.
10 days.
That's what we saw with Cam Green as well in South Africa when he was hit by Rabada's bouncer.
Yeah, but I don't know what the protocols here are, but certainly in Australia football, you cannot play the following week. That's a protocol you have to abide by. So I'm not sure about Shadab Khan. I've got him in there.
But then Usama comes in. If he's not there, Usama comes in.
Yeah, that's right.
And in fact, the other day, and I was asking this question to you, and I really thought that they should have got a leggy in instead of Mohammad Nawaz to bowl that over to Tabrez Shamsi.
That's
a lot of other ex-Pakistani great bowlers have been talking about that as well. Yeah. Perhaps another nail in the Babar Azam's coffin, but hang on, we're being told that Babar Azam is perhaps going to survive all of this. Let's look at what most key battles for this one. Okay. We're going to look at the first one. Yes.
Well,
Babar Azam, as we spoke
on the
about
bounce.
against Tuskin, who's been dropped as well.
Yeah.
He's been dropped for a while. Two games
he's come back,
out.
isn't he? He? He's come back. And I think he will take the new ball. He may not, but I think he's with his pace. I can see him steaming in and trying to, take Babar Azam's wicket. The guy that's got a couple of 50s, and he would desperately want to, convert that 50 into hundreds. There's Rizwan also as a battle. He's played a very uncharacteristic knock, didn't he, last game? He came out and he threw the bat in his very first or second ball, and he got away with it. But I'm putting Rizwan as our second battle.
Okay, let's look at the next one. Rizwan. We got Rizwan up? Yeah.
There we go.
Against Shakib?
Yeah. Shakib is going to have to bowl.
Yeah.
He's 10 overs, and I think he will want to come and make an impression against a guy who looks like, he can take the game away as well. Babar.
He's got a point to prove. His name's in that company. His name's in that company as director.
Yeah.
Okay, so effectively he's Babar's boss.
Yeah, a decent fella.
Yeah.
Actually.
But in fact, of all the players in this tournament, who's going to go back with an enhanced reputation, for me, it's Mohammad Rizwan.
Yeah, that's right.
Because it's the only one who's showing he's up for this fight.
Yeah, he's put in.
Yeah.
He really is put in.
Okay, next battle?
The third one I've got is another young left-hand batter from Pakistan. Because I'm expecting them to get the points tomorrow. Saud Shakil. I think he's got a wonderful future, and he actually bowls as well, but he hasn't been throwing the ball yet.
Yeah, that's what is surprising as well. A lot of players in Pakistan wondering why isn't Saud Shakil bowling?
Yeah,
especially when some others are going for runs.
Here's a possible matchup. Mahmudullah also bowls a little bit off break.
And he hasn't set this World Cup on fire. What we saw, expected from him at the Asia Cup, it's been a very flat performance from Mehdi Hassan Miraj.
Especially with the ball, right?
Yeah.
I think batting, he's still a good player. And to be fair with Miraj, he's been moved all over the batting order too, from what I see. Batting at number 3 to number 5, 6. It'd be nice to have a settled spot. They will have reasons for all that, I know, but it would be nice to have a settled spot. So we're expecting at least this guy to come on and make it difficult for Saud Shakil.
Oh, who's got the shots? He can play shots.
Yeah.
I liked his intent the other day.
Yeah,
okay, let's look at the next
good.
one.
Mushfiqur Rahim.
Mushfiqur Rahim, another veteran.
Yeah, his last tournament as well.
And Mohammad Nawaz, who really has been getting a lot of stick because a lot of fans, both Indian and Pakistani, saying we don't trust him when it comes to the last over or when the game is on the line.
Let's be honest. Anybody that comes and bowls in that situation is a difficult thing. But we make judgments, we make assessments on who would have been better. And clearly, the person who is more chance to get a wicket should be bowling. This guy, you don't want 6 dots. You need a wicket. That's what you want. And sadly, this guy was given the ball, and he bowls a half tracker, and he got punished.
Game over.
Game over. It's very sad. He'll want to do something here, Mohammad Nawaz. And he's a good cricketer, really. He's not the best, but he's an honest trier.
Okay.
He bats well, and he bowls his left arm spin diligently. He may not always be accurate, but I think that's going to be a little matchup as well.
Okay, so those are the key battles. There's also another battle which Dav didn't put in there. That's the Pakistan team versus the PCB. And I'm told we've got Anas Malik back with us.
This is the 5th one, yeah?
Okay, you've got one
very,
more?
very quick one.
Very quick one. Hang on, Anas.
I think the right hand.
Well, let's go back to that key battles, and then we'll come back to Anas.
No, just very quickly, Shaheen Shah Afridi to bowl to Mahedi. I'm expecting him to bat up the order because some of these upper order players want to be protected a little bit. In case this guy comes up, he's going to be facing Afridi, who has got a bit of a lease of life here. He's got a second win, and he's going all right. He's getting a wicket in that first 10 overs as well. So I think that'll be an interesting battle.
Okay.
Anas.
Okay, let's get Anas, because I'm told Anas is dialed back into this call because he's got some news about the team.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Anas, fire away.
Okay, so Fakhr...
Yeah,
go ahead,
right?
Digvijay.
No, I asked you to fire away. Go on.
Okay, so Fakhar Zaman is back in the squad. He is playing tomorrow. Interestingly, Inzamam-ul-haq is likely to be made to be benched, and Fakhar comes in place of Imam. That is what I've been made to understand from sources within the team. Shadab Khan is not playing. He is yet to complete the ICC protocols for concussion, so therefore he is benched. There is still a thought that whether Osama replaces Shadab as it was in the match, or whether Hassan Ali replaces Shadab, because now Hassan Ali is also available. So there are two discussions mainly that are ongoing. Either Pakistan goes in with 4 fast bowlers, or Pakistan Pakistan benches Haris Rauf and replaces Hassan Ali with Haris Rauf, and Osama Mir replaces Shadab Khan. Fakhar Zaman replaces Inzamam-ul-haq.
I'm not surprised with Inzamam-ul-haq with a surname like that, and especially what's been going around. In fact, the moment this happened, the first name my team said, you know what, Imam's not playing tomorrow.
Well, I had Fakhar Zaman in there anyway, so I didn't.
But he's also part of that same company.
That's based on pure cricketing reasons.
Anas, when are you joining that company? You'll get to play for Pakistan soon. Yeah, jokes apart. But I must say, you know what? You shouldn't be playing. You shouldn't be joining that company. We're very happy with you at WION. Trust me, some of your insights on cricket, even Dav and I keep talking off air, you've been absolutely magnificent, and you're tracking this team pretty well. We have him in our promo, the same promo which has you. So I'm going to track the team from Pakistan. I think nobody else in this World Cup has tracked Pakistan as well from Pakistan as Anas Malik. Keep the good work going, my friend. Keep the good work going.
Well done, Anas.
Yeah, there's a game going on, Sri Lanka versus Afghanistan. So
I hope my team makes it to the semi-finals.
That's Afghanistan,
I hope
right?
Pakistan makes it to the semi-finals.
Afghanistan, your other team.
Oh,
my other team as well, they're playing right now, but I hope Pakistan makes it to the semi-final by some, hunky-dory methods, and we really get to see another Pakistan-India semi-final in Calcutta.
Okay, as he said, he's the eternal optimist.
Or Chennai, wherever that is.
Calcutta, Kolkata. If India, Pakistan, it's Kolkata. India, anyone else, it's Mumbai.
Get your visa.
Get your visa. They're not giving it to him. That's the problem. He's applied long time back. Okay. Anas Malik, thank you for all those insights. Remain optimistic. Dav's going to rush off because he's going to follow this Afghanistan game. It's starting to get a bit close. And Dav is going to be on with Isha Hanspal a bit later in the day to review this game. Dav, thank you so much. Hopefully it didn't bring up some painful memories.
No problem.
But what can I say to close? It's just a joke. Inzamam-ul-haq is gone, and now we're hearing Babar's going to stay only in Pakistan cricket. Goodbye.